Brothers and sisters, have a good day. The Turkey exists disregarding Asia is political myopia. A century ago, Turkey was the sick man. Now forces are amazing to stop it. They want poisoned Hama structure in Syria. This is suicide. What legitimacy does United States have to negotiate with us? There is no telling whether Foreign Affairs Minister of our country's statement aimed at the Asia, a new policy will be diligently discussed. Most will want to sacrifice this policy to classical Russian Euro-Asianism. Some will undermine it, and groups taken hostage by pro-Atlantic discourses will portray it as treachery. Also of great significance was our Minister of Foreign Affairs describing this axis as one that joins the East and the West without limiting it to Turkey's strategies alone, and showing those who want to accuse Turkey of an axial shift that the real central axis is here. The trade is coming from the United States. A new roadmap is being drawn with persistence, determination. This statement gives us clues of a new position Turkey has long been determinedly and persistently upholding. It is a new roadmap. It is the establishment and a design of the future. Security conflicts with the United States, Turkey's firm attitude towards interventions aimed at our region, pro-Atlantic circles openly threatening us, the showdown between those who are trying to take control over our country's future again and those resisting against this. In short, we are undergoing a deep change from economy policies to security strategies. We rediscovered our country, we rediscovered ourselves, we rediscovered our region and identity. What is more important? We made a decision what would never go under tutelage like in the 20th century. The world center of gravity shifted away from the West. We took action right at this moment. When did we do this? If it is question, we can say we did it at a time when the Atlantic alliances, unilateral global dominance ended, when a four centuries old power shift occurred. New powers and actors emerged. The balance of the East and West was shook, and the structural objections and the challenges rose throughout the world against United States EU dominance. The world was now multipolar. New political and economic areas had emerged. The world center of gravity was moving away from the West. The technology and the capital gap between regions was closing, and the East was rising a lot faster in terms of defense and human resources. Most importantly, it was a breaking point in history. Power maps were being radically changed. As for Turkey, unilateral dependence on the West had become dangerous enough to lead the country to shrink. Selçuk, Ottoman, Turkey continuity new rise, because as of today, all security threats aimed at our country are from the West and the result of their disposal in our region. What is more, similar to July 15 coup attempt and the terror corridor in northern Syria, they were openly threatening and attacking. This repositioning had diverse meanings for Turkey. After the collapse of the Ottoman Empire, we were being ourselves for the first time in a century. We are initiating a new growth, a new rising period. We are preparing the state and institutions for this, receiving support from the community in this regard, renewing the century and nation's goal, and carrying the continuity of the Seljuk Ottoman Empire's Turkish states to a new stage. Dear ladies and gentlemen, we had the climbs of the centuries. Right at that moment, they attacked all together. This was a new rise in history for us. We had the climbs of the centuries. Turkey was realizing this great revival at a time the global power domain had collapsed. The power map had changed in the area of maneuver. Yes. Anyway, we had the climbs of the centuries, right? Embargoes of those we call ally. This is why they build internal front. Altogether, we concerned behind the accusation that Turkey's exit shifted was Turkey is out of our hands. We must stop it. This was the reason behind the coup attempts, economic attacks, and the siege from the north of Syria and the Mediterranean. Turkey exists, our countries exist. The world's hated debate issue right during this period, the Turkey exists, and Turkey's geopolitics were becoming one of the hottest debate topics worldwide. It is political mind, economic interests beyond the region, rediscovery of its historical political legacy. It is the negation of multinational internal operations and its intervention targeting the siege plans that started with Syria's Afrin was going to show the world how Turkey became a star. They were aware of this. They were aware of how Turkey would become a model. This is why security policies were activated and intense trivialization operations were launched globally through the media and political discourse. A century ago, Turkey was the sick man. History is calling us again. Now they are trying to stop Turkey. A century ago, the story of collapse was being written as the sick man, the East problem. A century later, the story of Turkey's rise is being written, taking advantage of the West's stagnation, and with the support of the East rise, we had to establish a Turkey front This was the voice of the 21st century. It was a political discourse that would spread throughout the entire region. History was calling on us again, and had loaded the same burden on our shoulders. Right at this period, it was becoming clear who is friend or foe, just as it did in all breaking points in history. The voice of the 21st century, the voice as a great fight for civilization. It was a fight for honor and freedom. Its voice is so strong that is a choice from the depth of Africa to the streets of the Middle East, from Pakistan to Malay world. We believe that this is the voice of the 21st century, that it will turn upside down global plans, negate those multinational projects, and start a legendary rise from this region. Disregarding Asia is political blindness. The Turkey exists a common political identity, establishing relations with Asia, building partnership with rising powers in Asia is not Euro-Asianism, it is not Third Worldism. They are Cold War terms. The world experiences a great catastrophe. Realities have changed as much as term and minds, and so has power. States that fail to see this are blind and can never build a future in the 21st century and beyond. The Turkey exists is the sole and highest political identity we need to climb to. We need to produce intellectual content in this regard, hold discussions, awaken a social consensus, and unite Turkey's upcoming intervention on east of the EU phrase. They want a new poised hammer. I will give a recent example. Our president, His Excellency Recep Tayyip Erdogan, President of Republic of Turkey, for 2 days ago has been making statements with respect to an intervention on the east of EU phrase in Syria, as the United States delegation's meeting in our capital city Ankara aimed at preventing and awakening this continue. The EU phrase shields and offering intervention was a challenge against that multinational will. It was the Turkey's exist response. The intervention plan aimed at the east of the EU phrase is not different. Ankara breaking this siege as they are closing in on us is the Turkey axis stance, because they want to build a structure similar to the poised hammer or operation provide comfort in northern Syria and stop Turkey via partnership. We are certainly opposing this because the poised hammer in Syria is suicide, and the next front is going to be in Turkey. What legitimacy does the United States have to sit at our table? Why does nobody ask? The people of Syria did not call the United States, the regime did not call it. Neighboring countries such as Russia and Iran do not want it. So based on what legitimacy is the United States able to be on the other side of the negotiations table in our capital city Ankara, in relation to what mission, other than as the spokesperson of a terrorist organization against which we are at war, would we include the United States in our mission, and why would we address it? This is also the stance of the Turkey axis, which is our country, which is our homeland. Here, my brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening, and God bless you all. Goodbye.